Hello everyone, my name is IngeMaharani with student number 21B-MID. I'm from English Literature batch 21. Elizabeth I was born at Greenwich Palace on September 7, 1533, and was named after her grandmother, Elizabeth of York and Lady Elizabeth Howard. Elizabeth was Queen of England and Ireland from November 1758 until her death in 1603, sometimes referred to as the Virgin Queen, Glorina or Good Queen Bess. Elizabeth was the fifth and final monarch of the Tudor dynasty. She was the second child of Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn. At birth, Elizabeth was the heir presumptive to the English throne. Her elder half-sister Mary had lost her position as a legitimate heir when Henry annulled his marriage to Mary's mother, Catherine of Aragon, to Mary Anne, with the intent to sire a male heir and ensure the Tudor succession. Elizabeth was 2 years and 8 months old when her mother was beheaded on 19 May 1536. 4 months after Catherine of Aragon's death from natural causes, Elizabeth was declared a legitimate child and deprived of her place in the royal succession. 11 days after Anne Boleyn's accession, Henry married Jane Seymour. Queen Jane died the next year shortly after the birth of their son, Edward, who was undisputed heir apparent to the throne. Elizabeth was placed in her half-brother's household and carried the chrism, or baptismal cloth, and his christening. After Grendel died in 1548, Elizabeth received her education under her brother Edward's tutor, Roger Ascham, a sympathetic teacher who believed that learning should be engaging. Current knowledge of Elizabeth's schooling and periodicity comes largely from Ascham's memories. By the time her formal education ended in 1550, Elizabeth was one of the best educated women of her generation. As she grew older, Elizabeth became celebrated for her virginity. A cult of personality grew around her, which was celebrated in the portraits, paintings, and literature of the day. Elizabeth became known as the Elizabeth era. And now I will tell about William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare was born on April 26, 1564, in Stamford-upon-Avon, United Kingdom. Shakespeare was the son of John Shakespeare, an alderman and a successful glover. It means glove maker. Originally from Smithfield in Warwickshire, and Mary Arden, the daughter of an affluent Londoning family. William Shakespeare was an English playwright, poet, and actor. He is widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the world's greatest dramatist. He is often called England's national poet and Bard of Avon, or simply the Bard. His extant work, including collaboration, consists of 39 plays, 144 sonnets, 3 long narrative poems, and a few other pieces. Some of uncertain authorship, his plays have been translated into every major living language and are performed more often than those of any other playwright. His work continued to be studied and reinterpreted. Shakespeare was probably educated at the King's New School in Stamford, a free school chartered in 1553 about a quarter mile from his home. Grammar schools varied in quality during the Elizabethan era, but grammar school curricula were largely similar. The basic Latin text was standardized by royal decree, and the school would have provided the intensive education in grammar based upon Latin classical author. At the age of 18, he married 26-year-old Anne Hathaway, whom he had children Susanna and twins Hamid and Judith. Between 1585 and 1592, he began a successful career in London as an actor, writer, and part owner of a playing company called the Lord Cumberland's Men, later known as the King's Men. At age 49, around 1613, he appears to have retired to Starford, where he died 3 years later. Few records of Shakespeare's private life survive. This has stimulated considerable speculation about such matters as his physical appearance, his sexuality, his religious beliefs, and whether the work attributed to him were written by others. Shakespeare's first plays were written in the conventional style of the day. He wrote them in styled language that does not always spring naturally from the needs of the characters or the drama. Shakespeare's work has made a lasting impression on later theater and literature. In particular, he expanded the dramatic potential of characterization, plot, language, and genre. The next is History and English Literature in Elizabethan Age. Elizabethan literature refers to bodies of work produced during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, 1558 until 1603, and is one of the most splendid age of English literature. Probably the most splendid age in the history of English literature, during which such writers as Sir Philip Sidney, Edmund Spenser, Christopher Marlowe, Ben Jonson, and William Shakespeare flourished. The Elizabethan Age is called the Golden Age of English literature because it was a long period of peace and prosperity in which the art flourished, and much of English society participated in the general economic well-being. Elizabethan period is generally regarded as the greatest in the history of English literature. Historically, we note in this age the tremendous impetus received from the Renaissance, from the Reformation, and from the exploration of the New World. It was marked by a strong national spirit, by patriotism, by religious tolerance, by social content, by intellectual progress, and by unbounded enthusiasm. Such an age of thought, feeling, and vigorous action find its best expression in the drama, and the wonderful development of the drama culminating. Though the age produced some of the excellent prose works, it's essentially an age of poetry, and the poetry is remarkable of its variety, its freshness, its youth, and romantic feeling. The Elizabethan age saw the flowering of poetry. The example is the sonnet Despentrian, stanza dramatic blank verse, was a golden age of drama, especially for the plays of Shakespeare, and inspired wide variety of splendid prose, from historical chronicles versions of the Holy Scriptures, pamphlets, and literary criticism to the first English novels. From about the beginning of the 17th century, sudden darkening of tone became noticeable in most forms of literature expression, especially in drama, and the change more or less coincided with the death of Elizabeth. English literature from 1603 to 1625 is properly called Jacobin, after the new monarch James I, but insofar as 16th century themes and patterns were carried over into the 17th century. The writing from the earlier part of his reign, at least, is sometimes referred to by the amalgam Jacob. That's all from me. Thank you.